California, visiting RAADfest. And RAAD stands for Revolution Against Aging and Death 2024. A year ago, we were also here and we visited different stands and we interviewed some of the participants. And today, the conference is much bigger, it seems like, and it's more active. And we're gonna research all the new, latest and greatest, and we will report to you. So let's go.
First of all, I'm Dr. Dmitro Klokal from European Wellness Biomedical Group, and all the products that we are involved in, mostly research and development, because we do research our own products. We do a lot of formulations, our own formulations. We manufacture in our facilities. If something requires a clinical trial, clinical assessment, we also can conduct it either by ourselves or we cooperate with some universities. Like, for instance, we did a lot of experimental work with the University of California, Irvine here. So we did on the animal studies, and we do a lot of the lab work and testing on the human stem cell cultures. We test all our products in Heidelberg University in Germany. The products that we developed belong to the realm of biological medicine. It's not the pharmaceuticals, it's not the synthetic molecules. However, we do manufacture them mostly in a pharmaceutical plant, so they correspond to all the requirements of the pharmaceutical industry to be suitable to given to humans. So we deal with exosomes, NAD, various peptides, including the growth hormone, growth factors, placental growth factors, thymus therapy. These are the naturally occurring thymic peptides which are used for thymus regeneration to boost immunity. Also with immunotherapeutic products, we use specific formulations for hair growth restoration. Don't look at me, I shave. I like it this way, I like it clean. But those patients who like a bit...
Have you tried on yourself?
Many years ago, like 7-8 years ago, because the past 4-5 years I'm just shaving. I like this. But yeah, this is one of the top sellers actually. This is one of the best sellers, popular all around the world. The beauty of this hair follicle regenerator is that it comes with a micro stapler. It has 24 nano needles, and patients can use it at home DIY. So very easy.
So all this is do it yourself?
No, some of them are requiring physicians, because some can be given as IV infusions. We have the plugs therapy also. It's a concentrate for the IV infusions. Some are used systemically, as you use peptide therapy, intramuscular injections, some subcutaneous injections. We also have products for aesthetic skin rejuvenation. It's the combinations with hyaluronic acid and placental peptides, or the skin stem cell extracts, plus the fragments of the collagen and the elastin molecules, so that we can sort of restore the youthfulness, and that elasticity in the skin. And they are meant for the mesotherapy, which is usually done by the medical practitioner. It's either aesthetic dermatologist who is trained in that, or a nurse who is trained in that. However, it also can be used as a DIY with a micro stapler. So patients, you put the product inside this. Yeah, just take it please. You put the product inside here. Here on the top, there are 24 nano needles that will deliver the product right inside the skin, intradermally, not deeper than 4 millimeters depth, sufficient for the skin rejuvenation. And it's like a little pump, so patient puts the product inside, they can do the mesotherapy on the head, on the face, any area of the interest. Or for instance, if they have any slow healing wound or ulcer, or maybe they have some pigmentation that they want to treat, or maybe they have some area after the burn that is slowly healing and epithelizing. And especially if the patient is diabetic, or say got some condition, maybe a cancer patient, their healing is slowed down. So just by using the placental growth factors, they can actually enhance, enhance the healing process. So you can use it for many in many areas.
Painful? Do you feel it?
No, absolutely not painful. Absolutely not painful. You feel, of course, there is a sensation that something is poking through your skin, but it's absolutely not painful. It's very well tolerated. It's like we go for massage, right? Or there are guys who use that high energy vibration therapy. Yeah, well, is it painful? Well, you feel it, yeah, but sort of you enjoy it, isn't it? So this as well, same.
Actually, it's hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Yeah.
What is it for?
It's usually good for someone they may have problems seeing the blood transform, and it allows more pure oxygen to come into the body. So it's good for the anti-aging.
Is that how long do I need to be in that?
You mean for one session?
One session?
Yeah, usually for one session it will be about 45 minutes to 1 hour. It depends on the pressure you take.
And how many sessions I need to feel better?
It depends on the different people's situation. Someone they may feel feel better when they got 3 sessions, and for someone they may feel better after 10 sessions. Yeah, it depends on the different people's. Yeah.
I've seen other chambers people lay down.
Oh yeah.
The first time I see that people sit in.
Yeah.
Why? You think it's better or?
For example, the first thing is because this is hard shell, so it's more stable and easy to move. Yeah, because you can see there are some wheels, so it's easy to move. And second, when people sit down inside, they can do something they like. They can do something. They can do something playfully. For example, they can play their phone inside it, and they can read books. Yeah, and play their iPad or something, so they can move, so they can do some activities inside it instead of just lying down it.
Right.
Yeah.
Any side effects? Any negative effects?
Actually, you can see some some articles or some research online. So if some people they may already have some illness, so it is forbidden to use this kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, yesterday I talked about the product you see here. This is called EBO2, which stands for extracorporeal blood oxygenation and ozonation. So what we do is we have the blood that we take from the patient, the pump pulls it out of the vein, it then goes into a dialysis filter where it mixes with ozone gas. Then the ozone gas reacts with the blood and produces a number of different products. It helps get rid of heavy metals. It reduces inflammation dramatically, can get rid of viruses, Lyme's, post-COVID type problems, etc. Now, once it passes that filter, then it goes into this machine called the hemolumen. This is what we call photobiomodulation, where basically the blood is being subjected to different color lights that are pulsed. And that can have many different benefits. Also, we have ultraviolet A and ultraviolet C, which can also take care of many viruses and things like that. So it's basically a clean out of the system, so to speak. It takes about 45 minutes once we get started, and basically it does your entire circulatory system.
Any side effects from this treatment?
Well, what you find is, the side effects are hopefully are going to be better, but we'll find it will lower blood glucose. So we're very vigilant about that. We keep checking the glucose. If we have to, we'll actually give some glucose intravenously.
How long have you been using this in your practice?
I would say probably 8 years, something like that. We do it on all kinds of people. It's good for just general well-being once or twice a year. And for people with Lyme's and things like that, we recommend 2 or 3 treatments within a week or 2.
Have you tried it on yourself?
Oh, of course. Many times.
How often do you?
I do it every couple of months, just for general well-being. And I think it works very well.
And it takes 1 hour, you said?
About an hour once the IVs are in, a little less than an hour.
And in 1 hour, all your blood goes through?
Pretty much most of your blood. Because remember now, we're pulling it out with the pump, so it's a fairly rapid rate.
last year for Christmas, we visited People Unlimited in Arizona, and we spent 3 days with them, learned a lot about life extension. And one of the ideas that were heard at the event was to organize March on Washington. And the reason why is because a lot of therapies that are in the development or already discovered, people in the United States cannot use because of the limitations of FDA. And there is a proposal to organize group to march on Washington and to state the desire to have access to all this medication. And today on RAADfest, I hear a lot of conversations about that. And right now, we will try to catch Bill Faloon and interview him about, because he's one of the organizers and leaders of this idea. And we try to interview him and find out more about how this march would look like and what actual goals. So let's go and try to find Bill. Hi, Bill, very nice to see you here. How do you find this conference compared to others?
Well, this is the most exciting revolution against aging and death conference we've ever had. And there's one reason for that. We're reporting real-world results from clinical trials, from laboratory experiments in which animals and people have had their aging process reversed, in some cases by a meaningful percentage.
My first RAADfest was 2019, and I remember you were trying to conduct a study with people, and a lot of people signed up. So what happened to that study?
Well, COVID is one major issue with it. We had over 500 people go to our little medical clinic. We set up this medical clinic at RAADfest, but it overwhelmed us somewhat, but we handled them all. We registered over 500 people for an ongoing clinical trial to evaluate what works, what doesn't, how well something works. And then, well, with the COVID situation, we kind of had to shut it all down for a little while. We still have the data, and we still are now looking at a major formal clinical trial as opposed to the one that we envisioned in 2019. So we do have the perpetual clinical trial, still have a full-time staff working on it. We've got the database to store the data and analyze it, and it's just a matter of reigniting that. And we're doing it now in a different way, and that is getting the clinical trial of 12 to 20 people done first, and if that works, expand it into the hundreds, if not thousands of people to see how many people we can enable the aging process to go in reverse by virtue of evaluating the biochemistry and, well, grip strength, frailty index, how well do these people feel? And that's a big thing.
Yeah. Is this trial accepted by FDA? Or?
The clinical trial was not. We have to fight the FDA to do a multi-interventional clinical trial where we utilize metformin, rapamycin, senolytics, NAD restoration, Deprenyl, anti-aging drug for the brain. It's good for Parkinson's, even better if you don't have Parkinson's, that's how that drug works. But young plasma exosomes, and then gene therapy. Once we perfect gene-altering therapy, gene editing therapy, gene replacement therapy, different ways of doing it, people will get to live for a long, long time. I'd like to think indefinitely.
Right. I'm personally an architect, and I'm interested what kind of space is optimized for people to live longer, and if there is any hygiene, like let's say for infectious disease, we have a hygiene down, right? We brush teeth, we wash hands, we use toilets, we use refrigerator to stay out of infectious disease. Is there anything similar you think would come for the longevity?
Well, the good news is, number one, I admire architects. I see what you're able to do nowadays by taking a little space and putting a big building on it. That really impresses me. But as an architect, you can understand what we're going to be doing with DNA genes. We are going to turn on the expression of the pro-youth genes and silence the genes that cause us to age. So we're going to have an architectural engineer going in there who is a molecular biologist rearranging the configuration of our genetic structure so that we get to live as long as supercentenarian people, which is as long as 120 years, or let's say the bowhead whale. They get to live 270 years in the wild without any medical help whatsoever. And that's just because their gene sequence is better than ours. We have already sequenced the bowhead whale, donated it to Harvard. There's scientists at Harvard right now seeking to emulate that in people so we can enable people to potentially live a couple hundred years with existing technology.
And you believe it's coming pretty soon?
I know they're working on it, and I know the scientists working on it don't want to die. And that inspires me because everyone that I am working with on the scientific front, they're not doing it for the money. They're not doing it for the glory, if you want to call it that. They and their people they love, they want to keep them alive. And so that kind of motivation, I think, is even greater than what people do trying to develop a new drug and hoping to make a lot of money off it. If we perfect the aging research protocols, the way we're moving in that direction, then we all get to live a lot longer, a lot healthier. And that's worth, to me, all the money in the world.
And about your march to Washington, what is the goal of it?
Well, two goals. One is to let the longevity community opt out of the FDA's regulatory umbrella. And we'll sign a piece of paper saying, FDA, we respect with what you're doing. People who want to be protected should stay in your side. But our longevity group, we'd like to try some experimental therapies, even if there's some risk involved, because the benefit could be an extra decade or two of extended lifespan. We'd like to go for that benefit, and we'll accept whatever risk there is. So that's the main impetus of that, is let the FDA continue doing what they're doing, just let the longevity people do what we want to do. And that is have open and free access to therapies that are working in the animal model. And we just want to advance that into large groups of people and test these people, see how well it really works.
And what is your goal? How many people you expect to be at that march?
We're hoping to get 10,000, 20,000 people. Our life extension group reaches out to about 1 million people. The groups that we work with at this RAADfest, they have collectively at least 1 million people. And then once average people understand there are organizations fighting to give people greater access to therapies, I think it could be people who don't even know we're going to have that march yet, wanting to say, let me participate. We'll make it on a Saturday or Sunday so that people can do it without taking off work. And just show that there's a lot of people who would like to have freedom.
Is it like multiple day march? People actually going to march, or they're just going to...
One day is the plan. One huge day, people marching, and just letting...
Actual march, actual walk.
Well, there'll be speakers. People will be on the stage showing PowerPoints saying, here's a therapy in Europe saving lives. We can't get it in the United States. Why not FDA? That sort of thing. So it'd be one day of intensive campaigning on the issue of health freedom. If we have health freedom, we all may get to live a lot longer. And then once those longer-lived people show it works, then we don't have to worry about the FDA approval. The FDA will say, okay, you proved it worked. People can have it right now.
Great. And is there any way to participate or support this initiative?
Well, the RAADfest.com. RAAD.com, RAADfest, I should say RAADfest, RAADfest.com. That's the organization that's spearheading it, which is essentially the Coalition for Radical Life Extension.
Right. Okay, great. And but your organization is Life Extension?
Yeah, Life Extension. I'm the co-founder of the Life Extension Group. We're the world's largest anti-aging, consumer-based anti-aging scientific organization. We deal mainly with consumers, and there's other groups out there that bring a bunch of doctors together to teach them how to practice anti-aging medicine. So we respect what they're doing, but we try to attract the consumers who are looking for reliable information, connect them sometimes with doctors that can then help with certain chronic conditions.
Sandra Kaufmann is my hero and one of the leaders in the world of health and longevity. Back in 2017, she published a book called Kaufmann Protocol, where she organized all the new research on life extension, and she organized all the vitamins and supplements around that theory. And I really like how it's very clearly structured, and in my research I'm trying to follow her lead. And today she is at the RAADfest, and I'm hoping to catch her and ask a few questions about her book and about other books that she's working on. Hi Sandra, very nice to see you here at the conference.
Oh, it is so much fun being here. I love being here.
What do you think? How they progress this year related to other years?
Every year is super fun. New stuff, new researchers, interesting information. Although I got to tell you, my favorite part is just hanging out and talking to folks and getting one-on-one experiences like this. Right. Just so many really cool people here.
Anything new that strike you this year?
Oh gosh, you can't ask me that because I've spent most of my time just talking with old friends and getting their takes on things, and oh my gosh, there's so much new stuff I don't even know where to start.
What do you think about this March on Washington idea that they're kind of trying to develop? And do you think we will get somewhere with this?
No. No, we will get absolutely nowhere with that because politicians don't want longevity because it's too many old people and it costs too much money.
Right.
Longevity is an individual choice. It'll never go anywhere in DC. But kudos for trying. That's just my personal opinion.
Right. And I also was going to ask you about your Kaufmann index. How do you feel it's progressing?
Oh, it is doing so well. I've written 2 books. And I don't advertise. I don't have a PR agent. Sales skyrocketed. They're just amazing. People are really interested in longevity. In fact, so much so that I'm going to start licensing my protocol to doctors' offices, so people will have an idea of what to take and when to take it, that sort of thing. I'm working on a supplement line because people have asked me to do that.
Okay. What kind of supplements?
So it's going to be based on the 7 tenets of aging. So there'll be a platform for most people to take over the age of 40, and then based on concomitant medical issues or health concerns, it'll be sort of a stepwise process to take exactly what you need, but not what everyone's going to need, because of course it's all very personal.
Right. Would it come with one-on-one consultations?
So the answer would be yes. So we wrote an app, and it's on my website. There was an app, and it didn't work so well. My daughter rewrote it. It's sitting on the website, so for anyone for $2.99, which basically covers the cost of hosting it, you put your personal information in, and it'll tell you what to take. And if you don't want that, we offer consults with me for a few extra bucks, so that's available. But I realized this year that I can't talk to everyone, and I don't really want a brick and mortar because it's just not fun. So we're going to be licensing this out to physicians so that they can teach the same stuff that I teach.
And it's based on your books?
Oh, absolutely. So if anyone just wants to do it themselves, it is easy to understand. It is all laid out in the books and the website. And of course, I do lectures all the time.
Are you working on any other books in the future?
Oh gosh, yes. So I'm working on book 3. And it's going to be sirtuins, it's going to be circadian patterns, and a mishmash of other things that I'm working on. I'm obsessed right now with circadian rhythms because it's not just sleep. 40% of your genome is activated in an oscillatory fashion based on circadian rhythms, and people don't pay attention to that. So I think what's going to become important in the future is not what you take, but when you take what you take.
Right.
So I'm going to be introducing that concept this afternoon, and hopefully that'll catch on.
Is it like similar to intermittent fasting?
No.
Like for the supplements?
No, so the idea is, as just an example, NAD, right? Everyone's NAD deficient after 40. When you are young, you have higher levels, and they oscillate throughout the day. When you are old, you have less NAD, and they don't oscillate. And the key to mimicking a youthful pattern is to take them so that they oscillate. So, in fact, the best time to take your NAD supplements is halfway through the light cycle, which turns out to be British tea time. So I'm not British, but I think I'm going to become British. So if you're going to take NAD, the new idea is take it at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. And it's been demonstrated that if you do that, your sirtuin levels then are also better. So you can apply this to like lots of the supplements. When you take them is going to be important.
So British had it right.
I think they did. I absolutely think they did. I've got to become British. I'll have to say bloody hell and things like that. Yes, that'll be fun.
Well, excellent. We're going to be waiting for your new book to come out. Thank you very much.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you.
I'm presenting the Biomat by Richway. So these mats have been around more than 20 years. It's not a brand new product. They're one of the very first mats of this kind that utilizes far infrared light, like an infrared sauna. It's combining negative ions, which we get from nature, oceans, mountains, waterfalls, and it's combining it with amethyst stones and black tourmaline. So it's a 3-component synergy of infrared, negative ions, and the stones from the earth.
Why these stones were selected versus any other stone?
Amethyst has some properties and attributes very calming, clearing, centering. The tourmaline, black tourmaline, is a negative ion stone. It's high in negative ions, so it kind of enhances the negative ion effect. And then also, the stones filter that far infrared light. Far infrared are light waves. They pass through the stones, they warm the stones, and the stones hold the heat on the surface much like hot sand on a beach, right? But they have their own attributes, and that's where combined, this feels different than an infrared sauna because of the stones and the negative ions. It's more of a mind. It affects the mind, the energy, and the physical. Circulation, detox. So they get warmed by the... How does it work? So the mat has 17 very thin layers in the mat that produces far infrared light. You do have to plug it in to power it. It's thin layers, ceramic, silicone. This technology is from NASA. This is a NASA patent. They learned how to produce this infrared warming in thin layers for the astronauts years ago. So this company took that technology and combined it with nature elements, negative ions and stones. So that's the basis. Very portable. Very easy to use. Anybody can sit or lay on it.
And do you recommend to use it for often?
If you have it in your home, you're using it every day. Wellness centers, clinics, people come in and use it before a treatment or combined with a treatment. But in your home, every day, because you want to. It feels good.
What kind of treatment would you combine it with?
You can do IV therapy on a full table, massage, acupuncture, craniosacral, different facial beauty treatments is phenomenal. So it's kind of endless, but the most popular combined massage, acupuncture, and then some of the facial laser technology, stuff like that.
Okay, so you can lay on this while you're doing any other...
Yes, it's very complementary.
Do you use it a lot at home?
Yes, I've been using these over 20 years. The first few years I used this, I slept on this mat every single night for 3 years because I had back and hip issues. This was my pain relief. This was my sleep aid. For many years, this allowed me to get relief. So, yes, I still use it when I'm in pain. I don't have to use it every day now, but it's a part of my life.
So what kind of product are you offering here?
So we have a blood test that can detect cancer at a cellular level. So we will detect any solid tumor, can detect any solid tumor from a blood draw. And what happens is if you have an underlying solid tumor, breast cancer, lung, colorectal, pancreatic, liver, bladder, brain, skin, all the organ tumors from which 100 million people a year suffer across the globe annually. The primary tumor itself generally does not kill you. What kills you is the tumor sheds tumor cells that circulate through your bloodstream, known as circulating tumor cells, or CTCs, the acronym for short. And the CTCs spread the cancer in your body in a process known as metastasis. And the metastatic effects are fatal. That's how you die from cancer. You don't die from this lump generally. Now, what we look for are there CTCs in your blood, in that sample? And if we find them, we can extract them whole and intact. We can place them on a glass slide, just like tissue, because it is cellular tissue. We can stain it like tissue and put it in the palm of a pathologist to examine under a microscope, just like a tissue biopsy, because it is cellular tissue. And then the pathologist can make a call on the result.
And what type of cancer would you test for?
This will check for any solid tumor, so any organ tumor, breast cancer, lung cancer, prostate, colorectal, pancreatic, uterine, ovarian, bladder, liver, kidney, brain, skin, all the organ tumors.
So it's
one test
tumors at the same time.
for all solid tumors. It's a broad spectrum pan-cancer test.
Wow, and what's
We've successfully detected cancers at stage 0 from a blood draw. And we just co-published a paper with CBCC, Comprehensive Blood and Cancer Centers, which is the largest private cancer center on the West Coast, and co-published with Christus Health, which is one of the 20 large healthcare systems in the United States. They have 600 hospitals and clinics, demonstrating that we can detect CTCs even in stage 0 breast cancer.
Wow.
And the key to curing cancer is early detection. Survival at stage 0 is 99%. So you really need to screen frequently, stay on top of that. Hopefully you never develop cancer, but unfortunately 40% of the population will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. That is the current data per the National Cancer Institute. So you need to stay on top of it and try to detect it early should you develop it.
And what is the accuracy of your test?
Very high. Because tumor cells look very different than healthy cells morphologically, they're easy to recognize. Tumor cells are 20, 30, 40 microns instead of 8 or 10. They are multinucleated, multi-headed, 5-6 nuclei instead of 1 or 2. They have high NC ratios, which means nuclear to cytoplasmic ratio. The nuclei comprise 85-90% of the cell instead of 15 or 20. They're hyperchromatic. They have too much DNA because they're so nucleated. These are features that make these cells look weird. My 6-year-old daughter could look at that cell and tell you that looks weird. A board-certified licensed pathologist that has trained their entire life to examine tissues and cells is almost never going to mistake a tumor cell for a healthy cell. It's an elephant and a rabbit.
But how is it detected? So it's automatically detected, or do you have people looking at the cells to detect it?
So the blood sample, so what happens is you purchase a kit. The kit gets drop shipped to your doorstep.
Okay.
All right, unless we're working with a provider. Clinicians also have kits, our partners that we work with. Well, in that kit, you will have tubes that you can pull blood within.
Is that big box? Is that how it
That is, yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's this.
Uh-huh.
So in that kit, you'll have tubes to pull 40 milliliters of blood. There will also be a device in there. The tubes go into that box. You close the lid and you press a button. That button causes a chemical reaction that keeps the kit between 2 to 8 degrees Celsius for shipping. You don't have to deal with dry ice. You don't have to deal with ice packs. There's a prepaid overnight priority FedEx label in the kit. So the phlebotomist or the clinician will take it, close it up, put the label on it, and FedEx will either pick it up, or the mobile phlebotomist, if they come to you, will actually take the kit with them and drop it off at FedEx. It will be overnighted to our lab in Medical District in Dallas. It will typically be processed the same day, which means the sample will be filtered. Any circulating tumor cells that are identified will be extracted and placed onto glass slides and stained, and from there it awaits pathology review, which typically takes 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay. And how do I interpret results? Do I need a medical doctor, or can I just read it from your website? Or how?
So the results will come to you secure, and the results will be depending on how you got the test. If you got direct yourself, if you went on our website and bought it, the results will go directly to you. If you got it from your clinician, they'll likely go to your clinician. The results will be positive or negative. In the positive reports, there will actually be images of the tumor cells in your blood sample, should we find some. Now, if you want further understanding of what that means and what to do from there, you would go to your practitioner or clinician who would guide you as to what the next steps are.
Okay. And you determine what type of cancer it is, right? Not just the fact that it's cancer cells.
So we actually just look for the cancer cells. You can potentially identify where it's coming from, but we don't. And here's the reason. In oncology today, 3 to 5% of all cancer diagnoses are what are known as CUP, C-U-P, which is cancer of unknown primary. And the way that happens clinically is they find cancer tissue, metastatic tissue, in the lymphatic system, the lymph tissue. They know the lymph is not a primary. They know an underlying solid tumor spread into the lymph, and that's where it came from. So they try to trace it back. And the way they trace it back is they look at markers on the tissue. Now, the problem with that is it's all probable. For example, let's say it's ER positive, which is estrogen receptor. That means it could be breast, but it could also be ovarian. It doesn't tell you which one. Let's say it's ER negative. It doesn't mean it's not breast cancer. It could be triple negative breast cancer. It'll be ER negative, PR, progesterone receptor negative, HER2 negative. So it'll tell you maybe here, could be there, probably not there, might be there, but it won't tell you exactly where it is. This happens in oncology all the time. So inevitably you will end up in imaging. They're going to image you anyways to look for it. So if you're going to look for imaging anyways to find what it is, why would we pull another draw of blood from the person to give them a maybe here, maybe there? It doesn't really do them any good. So instead what we do is on any positive draw, because your provider is going to image you to look for it, and then they're going to do their treatment protocol, whatever that is, whether that's functional, naturopathic, traditional, oncological, integrative, whatever. After the protocol, what they want to know and what you want to know is it gone? So on any positive draw, we offer a second complimentary draw anytime within 12 months because they need that endpoint. Hopefully after the treatment protocol that your practitioner does with you, it's gone and you're negative. But even if you're positive, you need to know that because that likely means they're going to extend the protocol, alter the protocol, or both.
Is this covered by the insurance at this point?
This is all cash pay. There's no insurance.
Are you expecting it will be covered at some point? Back for that, so it will be more widely used?
We'll pursue insurance in the future, but we haven't even begun pursuing insurance yet.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What are you presenting?
So we're here at the RAAD City portion of RAADfest, and we're presenting our Bioptron light therapy devices, as well as our Hyperlight eyewear products. So I think that the main idea for longevity is that, we want to all live to be 200, 300, 400 years old eventually, right? Well, here's the catch, right? You want to live to be 300 if you're going to be feeling like you're 30 or 40. You don't want to feel 300. I don't think anybody wants to feel 300, right? So we have products that help you maintain your health, maintain your wellness, feel as good as you can today, and hopefully keep feeling that well. So it starts off with our Bioptron light therapy product, which is a Swiss-made light therapy device, which is a polychromatic, incoherent light, meaning that it geometrically rearranges the properties of light so that it is most stimulative and beneficial to your body. These products, they have been around for some time, but we have recently upgraded them by using the C60 molecule on the lenses of the Bioptron, making them more powerful and switching them into quantum medicine. So by doing that, we've actually realized that we can take it to the next level, take it to the next step. And we've taken that same technology of C60 optics and we've put it into our new line of Hyperlight eyewear, which are eyeglasses that have been enriched or impregnated with the C60 molecule. So they use the C60 nanotechnology to filter the light that's reaching your eyes, and that results in a couple of really wonderful things.
Sorry, C60 is carbon 60. It's just like a supplements in the face.
Yes, so let me just tell you this really quick because this is one of the main questions we get every day. It is about what is the C60 and how does it work in the optical application? People are used to it as a supplement, but how does it work optically? So it's a carbon 60, it's a molecule, it is an arrangement of carbon that creates a three-dimensional shape which is geometrically stable. It is essentially the perfect three-dimensional shape. That is what makes it so powerful. So in a supplement that has its own properties, but in the optical sense, we're going to be using it as a way to pass light through this perfect shape, therefore harmonizing and calming down that light, making that light more palatable so that when it reaches your eyes, it has been harmonized to the point where your brain no longer has to deal with really difficult, jumbled, chaotic input. So it frees up your brain to do other things that your brain should be doing instead of processing, bad lighting input.
Are you wearing C60 glasses right now?
Yes, these are Hyperlight eyewear. The model I'm wearing is called Bogota, is one of our newest glasses. You can wear them all day long. People love to wear them outside. People love to wear them when they're driving, both during the day and at night. But they're also perfect when you're just browsing your devices. A lot of people use blue light blocking glasses at night, especially when, before they want to go to sleep, to calm down and get rid of some of that stimuli. Well, these glasses will take place of all that, plus they will still do all of those other wonderful things that we talked about.
Wonderful. And so the glasses and these devices, they both use C60?
Yes, they both use the C60 optics. So they both have a layer of C60. One of them, obviously, in the light therapy device, we're creating a very advanced kind of light, and then we're using C60 as the finishing stage before it actually reaches your skin, where in the glasses, it goes the other way around. You're taking all of the chaotic light that is reaching your eyes, and the C60 is harmonizing that and making more palatable. But they both take advantage of C60, and it has been wonderful for all of our clients.
So this device, is it for home or is it for the office treatment?
So with the Bioptron light therapy device, we do have models both for home use and for professional use. If you look over there, you can see both devices on display, the larger Bioptron and the smaller one. Actually, both of them are very, very suitable for home use. Many people will use the larger one at home. The real difference is in the area that they cover during a single treatment. So you do get about 5 times more area when you're using a larger light therapy device than you do with a smaller one. But if you are using it in a professional setting, you will most likely want the larger device just for convenience sake and, to give your client a faster and more effective treatment. But So it depends on what you're actually trying to do. It depends on what you are dealing with at the moment. The optimal way, when you have a home device, you can use it up to 2 times a day. Your body takes about 6 to 8 hours to recover after a single treatment. Not recover, but to fully absorb the stimulation of the light. So if you did it 10 times a day, it would be an overkill because your body couldn't really absorb it all. It's not harmful to you. You could do it as much as you want, but it wouldn't be optimal. So 2 treatments a day of 6 to 8 minutes is for great personal use. But in the hands of a knowledgeable practitioner, even a single 10-minute session will make a significant difference. We do that in skincare salon, in anti-aging places, a lot of cosmeticians, estheticians. They will incorporate it into their existing treatments, and just after a single 10 to 12-minute treatment, people will get a result that they're usually quite happy with.
How was this product invented? What's the story behind?
So the genesis of this product is it actually was invented by a team of scientists at the University of Budapest in Hungary back in the 80s. So that technology was originally conceived to deal with wounds and burns. So they wanted to see if light could help those heal faster. And once that was proven, it was actually taken over by our company in Switzerland, where it has been developed since the 90s until today. And we have taken it from a very sort of simple device in the beginning to, adding components, making it larger, making it more optimized, adding color therapy as an option, and ultimately adding the C60 component, which is our newest addition to the Bioptron.
Leela Quantum Tech is a very interesting, I would say, booth. They offer this special technology where by being around objects they developed, you can embed in yourself some quantum energy. I wasn't clear what quantum energy is and how it's different from any other energy, but this is definitely a very creative booth that can help awaken your power, so they claim. Let's go and see what else is here. Probably one of my favorite products. They claim to extend telomeres, and I did quite extensive interview with them last year. I also purchased the products for myself, and I'm glad to see them here again. This intelligent threads, intelligent fabric. fabric that's smart. I met some intelligent people in my life. I even met intelligent animals, but this is something new, that object that's not alive, that doesn't have a heart or brain, but it is intelligent, and it can bring its intelligence to us if we purchase that. Very interesting. Thank you. Holistic care medicine, I know they're right across a border in Tijuana. I also did extensive interview. Hi guys. I haven't been there, but I'm planning. You in Tijuana, right? Yes, I did interview last year with you. Yes. Thank you. I'm planning to come. And of course, my favorite brain tab. I really love this technology because it helps you meditate, and it actually helps you to focus on meditation. But for me, the downside is that you actually have to do it, and even if I have one at home, I'm having difficulties bringing it into my everyday life and organize myself not to forget to do it. But other than that, it's a great technology. This is probably my favorite of all the brands of life extension vitamins. It's called Life Extension, of course. It was founded by Bill Faloon, who is one of the founders of the movement of life extension and longevity. And the company partnered with LabCorp, where they can order your tests, and you can go into any LabCorp lab and do the blood draw and all kinds of tests, and then they will be sent back to Life Extension, and they will consult you on which vitamins and supplements you need to stay healthy and be on track on your longevity path.
So what we're offering is basically a showroom of sorts. We allow people to come in and use our stuff as a membership model, or if they want to be able to buy any of the stuff, we offer them below wholesale pricing and try it out. Like, this is a mild hyperbaric chamber where people like myself, I had one in my garage. I'd go in at 2, 3 a.m. I'd have my kids go in with me, and we'd be able to use pressure to help get more oxygen to our brain, to our body, to heal more. This is a red light facial. This brings more blood flow to the face. It helps to reduce fine lines, helps to get rid of black, even though I have to get rid of the black under the eyes. These are personal wearables, red light wearables that you can take anywhere. It helps to, like, my wife has endometriosis. She puts it on, it helps to alleviate the pain. My 100-year-old grandmother would have a Charlie horse or a pain in her leg, and nobody's really there to help her. She'll put this on. It'll help to alleviate some of the aches and the pains, so she doesn't have to go, oh, I have to go to the doctor, I have to go to the... That's a solution to help try and solve smaller problems. We also have other red lights for the hyperbaric chamber that work under pressure for a layered treatment or a compounded effect. So like if you really have an acute pain and you don't want to keep just popping pills to help mitigate it, these are ways to bring more oxygen and blood flow to an area to be able to heal. With Re-Energize, which is what our company is, we allow people to come in and they can do it with more consistency. And if they decide they love it and they want to buy it, we could sell it to them at a below retail price. And as the new tech emerges, they have access to it, as we love going to the conferences, meeting other people, seeing new innovations, and then passing on those benefits to our clientele.
So you like a studio, like a gym where people can go and try all these things, but they can also buy and bring them home?
Yes. I believe the future of wellness is going to be in personal wellness therapies. The thing for me is I don't have time to go make an appointment, go get parking, figure out if I'm going to have somebody to watch my kids. I'd rather have it in the comfort of my own home. Like you're doing with WELLROOM, you realize that time is, we can't make any more of it. So why not have the wellness therapies come to us, and when we're doing other things and not having an opportunity cost, like I want to have time with my kids while they're doing crossword puzzles or or watching TV. Well, now we can be doing these wellness therapies while doing that and spending time with our families.
So you're saying you're combining the hyperbaric chamber and the red light therapy?
Well, we've got lymphatic, we've got compression, we've got cold plunge, we've got whole body cryotherapy, we've got localized cryotherapy, we've got compression therapy, we've got a biocharger, we've got mental health, we've got beauty. It's kind of wherever the world's taking us, we bring it into our place, let people play with it, see what works for them. If they want to have it and buy it, they take it home and then they have it at their place. If they want to end our membership, at least we've left them better off, so their lives better.
So what is this walkie-talkie? Is that for communicating with the chamber?
Correct. So when we put somebody in there for safety purposes, we want to be able to have some sort of interactions. You can totally hear each other out speaking through that chamber. It's very light, yet very resistant. However, having some of those walkie-talkies is a little easier for people to be able to feel safe, to communicate with us. We can check on them during the pressurization and depressurization, because that's the biggest part. Once you hit that full pressure, there isn't much that is going to happen with their ears. It's easy to just sit in there, relax, feel relaxed, and be in cocoons. But in the pressure, we need to make sure the ears are being, pressurized and that they pop correctly. So we need to have those walkie-talkies.
Okay. And what are those things?
So this is 2023 Times Magazine Invention of the Year, along with a few others. But this is red light therapy.
Why is it invention? Because red light therapy has been around for a while.
So
it's
not the technology that is the invention, it's the actual design. What's really cool about it is that you have a battery that comes with a pad. So it doesn't need to be plugged in, there is no wires, no nothing. It's rechargeable. This one is waterproof. You have the battery that detaches, so if you need to plug it in, you can plug it in. It also connects to your Apple Watch, so it's Bluetooth connectable. And then the light shines at the same beat as your heartbeat. It's pretty cool. And so this one was the first product that LumaFlex came up with. What they decided to is that this tends to be a little bit out of budget for some people. So they decided to come with a more affordable version, which is not Bluetooth, which is not waterproof, and the battery does not detach. But the treatment is the exact same. So if people wanted to have the ability of, helping themselves with any type of recovery or anti-inflammation, they have this little pad right here compared to this one. So the one for the face uses a lot more light therapies. Different colors, which go to a different length of your tissues and then your body. For the face, the facial skin is a lot thinner, so you need to have a little bit less of a depth and have some wavelength that are a little bit more shallow. And you want to improve the skin overall. You're not trying to really heal something within the face. So you're trying to go as shallow as possible so that the skin is rejuvenated, that you have increased collagen, less wrinkles, get rid of the black spots, helps whitening the teeth. It helps with a lot of little different things for your face. So still light therapy, but not as deep as a red light therapy or an infrared light therapy.
Hello.
Hi there.
You heard the WELL conference? What
Yes.
are you presenting?
Yes, we have spring water from a very special spring in southern Idaho that has some really special qualities. It's high in silica, for one. Silica is a really important trace mineral that's important for our hair, our bones, teeth, wound healing. It also attaches itself to aluminum, so it detoxifies us of aluminum, which is really important because aluminum toxicity has been related to Alzheimer's and all of the chronic inflammatory diseases that we are now getting more and more of as we age, right? In addition, this water, because it has silica in it, you can program it, right? Actually, you can program all water, to be honest. And the idea is that water is a liquid magnetic tape, and that it is listening to everything in its environment. And so what we can do, and people, I think in the old days, in the ancient times, people knew this and we've forgotten, that we can have a thought and then we can put that thought into our heart. And our heart is an electromagnetic generator, and that's the basis for our field that we generate when we come into a room. People know that we're there, and we bring that energy into the room. It's actually a pattern, right? And then we can take that from our heart and we can speak it. And that was what God gave us, is the ability to speak, not just to communicate, but to also program ourselves and the environment around us. So you can actually talk to the water and then drink your own thoughts, your own beautiful thoughts. So imagine a situation where you could say that I'd like to live for 150 years. And I'd like to live 150 years in perfect health. You can do that. You can do that. You just have to know that you can do it.
But would you like to live 150 years?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go to 140. Yeah. So.
And how this water was discovered? How was discovered that
It's been known to the Native Americans for millennia, and so I was guided to it about 6 years ago, and just decided that it was one of my missions to bring this to the world for those that want it. So it's a premium water. It's expensive because it's from a remote location, and shipping costs are high, volumes are low. So we sell it right now directly to consumers on the line at aqueensprings.com. And Aqueen, by the way, is a native name. Aquene is a native name for peace, tranquility, and clarity. Aqueen Springs. Yeah.
But you have diversity. I see here you have various products. How different are they?
They're just packaged differently. So we have a bottle that you can actually see the silica crystals in, right? If you look, they've been programmed and you can actually see the silica crystals that I'm talking about, right? And then we have a 5-liter box, and then we have a 5-gallon box as well. So it's all the same water, just packaged differently.
But I see 4 different boxes. How different that is?
It's like wearing different clothes every day. The boxes are different, but the water's the same.
So what kind of product are you presenting here at the conference?
Yeah, so I'm the founder of Laser Med, and turn that on. We use lasers to stimulate stem cells to grow, and we do blood oil change. So that machine takes blood out of your arm, gets out all the plaque, bacteria, mold, viruses. Then the ozone oxygenates the blood, and it kills viruses, bacteria. And then we put it through UV light. You wanna see the machine?
Yeah, I will.
And the UV light charges your mitochondria, and then it gives you more energy. And then your body makes NAD for anti-aging. Then we put the clean blood back in your arm. It's like getting an oil change for your car. What's going to happen to your car if you don't change the oil?
Brakes?
The engine breaks. What's going to happen to your heart if you don't change the oil? It's going to break. Heart attack, stroke, #1 killer. So after we clean the blood, then we IV 1 trillion stem cell derived exosomes to regenerate the body, to make you younger. And then we give you Myers cocktail vitamin IV, glutathione, antioxidant, and then more NAD. So it's the trifecta. Blood oil change, 1 trillion stem cell derived exosomes, and the vitamin IV. Yeah.
And what is vibrating under you?
This is a pulsed electromagnetic field therapy. It's a magnet, and it's giving my body negative electrons. Your cell is a capacitor. So when you have negative electrons, you cannot have inflammation in your body. Yeah.
Okay.
Charging my batteries. This is
And the light?
light emitting diodes. 630 nanometers, 810, 855, 630. Grow your hair. Regenerate your skin. Stimulates the stem cells to grow. Pain, inflammation. All right.
And did you design all this treatment, this combination of...
Yes, this is my protocol. This is the Dr. U Ibu protocol. Dr. U Ibu and Laser Med. This is my secret weapon. This is called oral Myers cocktail. So people who don't like the IV vitamins, you drink it, and it absorbs in your body.
Did you invent this?
I'm an advisor.
Advisor.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So who this treatment is for? Like what
So,
age group or what
Usually, baby boomers are seniors with chronic pain like arthritis, brain degeneration, nerve inflammation, organ failure. People want to prevent heart attack, stroke, diabetes, cancer. Just like Robert, he had the trifecta. Ask him how he's doing. Yeah. Look, he looks 20 years younger right now. Yeah. How do you feel after the trifecta? Yeah, see how long the protocol is? Yeah.
So it's like 60 plus or baby boomers?
Or? 55 plus. He's younger, so he doesn't need the EBU. And look how good his veins are. He's just getting the exosomes. Yeah, for sports performance, prevention of disease, more energy. Yeah.
How often do you recommend this treatment?
So the human body has 6 liters of blood. One blood oil change, we filter out 2 liters. So you need to do it 3 times. And then you do a maintenance every year, just like your car, right? You change the oil, right? Depending on your diet. Like his diet's clean, he doesn't really need to do that now, so yeah. But me, I like Korean barbecue. So I did it 6 times, yeah.
What's your favorite?
Everything, yeah. Grass-fed meat, everything, right?
So do you do it yourself every year or how?
I did that 6 times. And exosomes, you know, every now and then. This is my book, Star Tech Stem Cell Signaling, and it documents all these procedures with the research.
Was YouTube channel WELLROOM from RAADfest 2024. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please like. If you have any comments, comment in the comment box below and follow me for the next videos. Thank you for watching.